Hey everybody, I'm Jack Hammer. Today I just wanted to go through preseason's come and gone. Rosters have all been set. Really, all that's left for the Flyers right now is to focus on the season ahead, with kickoff coming up next Sunday against the Detroit Lions. So, with the entire NFL in the middle of a 3-day weekend, I figured that now would be the perfect time to put out some bold predictions. And here are my 5 regarding the players from the 49ers for 2021. Let's start off with the quarterbacks. I'm going to go with Trey Lance on this one. Trey Lance will throw more passes as a rookie than Patrick Mahomes. This prediction might not really sound all that bold, and it really isn't when you think about that fact that Mahomes as a rookie in 2017 only had 35 pass attempts, all of them coming during the final week of the season. In fact, that was the only game that Mahomes even played in during that season. So when you go back and you hear what Coach Kyle Shanahan has said, Lance is going to be playing. We know that. The only question really around Lance is how those snaps are going to come. Is it going to be as a starter? Is he going to be, coming in rotation off the bench, back and forth with Garoppolo and so on? So my prediction for Lance is that he will get somewhere in the neighborhood of 75 pass attempts, even if he's used primarily as that change of pace type of quarterback, kind of like what we've already been hearing so far from Shanahan. That number will obviously increase if he becomes a starter. Number 2. Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa is going to record double-digit sack total for the first time in his career. Bosa's been working his way back from that season injury that he suffered, really the second time in 2 years. Sandwiched between playing only 3 games during his last season at Ohio State in 2018 and playing only 2 games with the 49ers in 2020. Bosa had a terrific rookie season, which saw him record 9 sacks on the way to being named the Defensive Rookie of the Year of the NFL. So, they went into this preseason. 49ers took it very slow with Bosa during training camp. But when he was finally a full participant there the week after the Los Angeles Chargers game, he looked every bit of the player that he was in 2019. He dominated during one-on-one pass rushing drills, winning all of those reps. And then he went out and was able to get a sack of Jimmy Garoppolo, beating Trent Williams on his first pass rushing attempt during the team period. So when you throw in, Bosa looking to be like that he is coming back at full strength, D Ford returning and looking really strong throughout training camp, and then you also have Samson Ebukam. Bosa seems to be primed for a career season. I know, and that might sound a little crazy because he's only in year 3, but once again, he's going to get double-digit sack total this year, I think, based off of how strong he's looked so far. Up next at number 3. Going to go to the safeties. We're going to go to the back end of the defense. And I'm going to say that Talanoa Hufanga is going to start a game before Trey Lance. The rookie safety from USC, he's been impressive all summer long, ever since training camp started. One of the big things with Hufanga that I think gives him the leg up here on Lance is that he has that versatility to play, switch back and forth between free safety and strong safety. He started all 3 of the preseason games, and he had started one at strong safety there in the middle, and then he had starts at free safety in games 1 and 3. So he has a couple of different locations that he can play there. And I think it's highly likely that Hufanga is going to start multiple games at some point during the season. Neither of the 49ers starting safeties have shown that they can stay healthy for an entire year. At free safety, Jimmy Ward, he hasn't played a full season since 2015. In strong safety, Jaquasi Tart, he's averaged only 9 games per season since 2017. So, in a lot of ways, and I've said this a number of times, Tart is the Jimmy Garoppolo type of player on the 49ers defense when it comes to the lack of ability. So that's the third one there. Hufanga starting a game before Trey Lance. Let's turn to the defensive line once again, and let's go into the middle of it this time. At number 4, we have Javon Kinla, and he's going to be held to 3 sacks or less. And this is a tough one for the Flyers. After trading away future All-Pro DeForest Buckner to the Colts, San Francisco chose Kinla to be his replacement, and they used the 14th pick in the draft to do that. And then as a rookie, Kinla underwhelmed, recording only 1.5 sacks. Both of those, or 1.5, coming in the game against the Saints when they had their backup quarterbacks in, and 4 hits on the quarterback, and I believe 3 of those were in that one game as well. He didn't have a very successful season with getting to the quarterback as a rookie. Unlike Buckner, Kinlaw just isn't a refined pass rusher. He generally just bull rushes into the chest of the defender and then watches the quarterback to try to get in the throwing lane to knock the ball down. He really never rushes edges. He doesn't really have any moves. And the frustrating part with Kinlaw is that the hope for him was that a full offseason in the 49ers system, full going through OTAs, going through training camp and everything, that was going to allow that practice time necessary to kind of make up for what he lost during that shortened offseason of 2020. Unfortunately, though, that never materialized. Kinlaw showed up for camp and he had swelling in his knee, so he had to sit out a little bit. And then even after that, he never took part in one-on-one pass rush drills. He did play a little bit in team periods, but he never did that one-on-one pass rush to really work on things against the offensive lineman. And I just feel that lack of reps was part of why Kinlaw played the entire first half of the final preseason game. And even playing that entire thing really against backups along the Raiders' offensive line, you really had to look hard to even realize that he was on the field. He was never around the quarterback, and I think he had a couple of tackles early on. But again, you went from DeForest Buckner, who is a pass rush guy in the interior, to Kinlaw, who really gives you almost nothing in that aspect. He's a very good. You're used to basically what you did was you traded away an all-pro defensive tackle for a rookie run stuffer that doesn't give you anything in the pass rush, and so that's a big negative that for me with him. So Javon Kinlaw will be held to less than 3 sacks or 3 sacks or less. And then let's wrap this up. So the fifth bowl prediction, this is on the positive note. So the first 3 are positive. The really only negative one there was Kinlaw. But number 5, Fred Warner will win Defensive Player of the Year. Warner has consistently improved over his first 3 seasons as a 49er. In 2020, he was named to the Pro Bowl and was his first team All-Pro. Even after they played the Green Bay Packers, you had Aaron Rodgers coming out and saying that Warner is possibly the best middle linebacker in the game. And then you come fast forward here to 2021, and the 49ers have a new defensive coordinator in DeMeco Ryans, who's a former linebacker. He spent the last 4 seasons coaching the position in San Francisco. And so, you look at that, and Ryans has an extremely aggressive approach, which I think is going to allow Fred Warner to really shine in 2021. That aggressive approach is going to allow him more opportunities to blitz. It's also going to allow him more opportunities to be in man coverage. And when you start looking at things like Defensive Player of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, those types of things, those are all built around numbers. And you've got to have the interception totals. You've got to have the sack totals. If it's a defensive lineman, it's all about sacks. If it's a linebacker, it's about, sacks, tackles, interceptions, all those types of things. So with that more aggressive opportunity to blitz and be in coverage, I think Warner's going to be able to put up the numbers that are going to garner the recognition necessary to be named the top defensive player in the NFL. It just, again, those big plays, those interceptions, those fumbles, all those different types of things, tackles for loss and sacks. Those are the things that create the buzz around a player on SportsCenter and on the highlight shows. And at the end of the day, that's really a lot of the voters when it comes to those kind of awards are seen, because quite frankly, most of them don't watch the games for every team as closely as they really should. So that's my top 5 list. If you have some as well, go ahead and hit me back in the comments and let me know which, your 5 predictions and who you think are going to be able to do what among the 49ers players. I'll probably be back next week with a breakdown before the season as far as an overall team prediction and what I think they're going to be able to do. Maybe even going through the list of the games and giving you wins and loss predictions for all the games and so on and so forth. But I hope you enjoyed the content that I provide. If you could please hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, that'd be fantastic. I do have a question really, really quick that I'm going to answer here. Carlos asks, what do I think of Aaron Banks? I really liked Aaron Banks. I liked what I saw of him on film prior to him coming to the 49ers. And the only problem with Banks is that he isn't refined enough. He has a lot of little things that he needs to work on. And it's not even, we're not talking big things. We're talking hand placement, shortening up his steps so that he's striking the opponent in the right position, not overstriding so that he's staying balanced. Those are the things with Aaron Banks that have held him back. And then you throw in that he had the shoulder injury that he sustained in the first game. that slows down his progress. So I like Aaron Banks. I just think that he's a guy that probably isn't going to produce this year at the level that the 49ers were hoping that he would, especially 49er fans and even myself. I was hoping that he was going to be able to step in and take that right guard position away from Daniel Brunskill. It's early. Who knows what's going to happen? But I would be surprised to see Banks get become a regular starter this year. I think that's probably going to be more something going into 2022. It's a little bit further down the road. And then the other question that we have real quick is, how is Lance's finger? There hasn't been any word on that since the word broke of the fracture in the finger. I think it's going to be fine. I know John Lynch had mentioned that they were cautiously optimistic that he would be ready to go on Monday. I don't think it's a big deal if he doesn't practice Monday. The real first day of practice for the Lions is going to come on Wednesday. Monday's practice is going to most likely be more of like just a get back from vacation type of a practice, get everybody back in the swing of things. Tuesday will be a day off, and then they start their preparations for the game on Wednesday. So as long as Lance's finger allows him to be able to take snaps and he's comfortable with it, I think we'll see him ready to go. Hopefully he's going to play in this game. Hopefully that he'll get a chance to get in there and get some action, especially since that's been the focus and all off season long. And he's looked really good in the running game, and he's even looked good in some of the stuff they does in the passing game. So just wanted to come on, do a quick hit with everybody, let them know my 5 predictions. Like I said, we'll be back with an overall team prediction here probably early next week. Definitely we'll be here for doing Niner Chatter on Tuesday. We'll be doing the Hammer Nail Show on Thursday, and there's even going to be another show I'll be joining with somebody else on Wednesday. So a lot of things going on. So keep it locked in here to my channel. Make sure you also like and subscribe. And as I mentioned, you've watched this, so if you could go ahead and in the comments section below, leave your predictions. Give me 5 of your predictions in the comments, and it'd be great to see what you guys have to offer. So thanks so much for jumping on real quick. I see you there, Amin. Let me see what you got there. One thing about the draft class is that the later draft picks are doing better than the earlier draft picks. Lenore over Thomas, Moore over Banks. Yep, and that goes throughout all 5 of those guys. There's Moore, you have Lenore, and then you also have Talanoa Hufanga. So they're 3 best draft picks right now, or they're 5th rounders. Let those other guys, I think Trey Lance is pretty darn good too. So let's keep him in there. But that's all I have. Please, like I said, subscribe, and let's leave some comments. Let me know what you guys think. And everybody, you guys have a great weekend, and be back at you Monday. Take care.